Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about having your Saturn in Aries in your natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on Saturn placements in a natal chart. They may have been a little bit concise. Some people may have referred to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up, well, Saturn in astrology is connected with our it's about, our father. It's connected with father, older people, and authority figures. So having this placement, one or more of those people may actually be Aries, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or embody the characteristics of the sign. It could be people that are, aggressive, assertive, outspoken, direct, straightforward, courageous, confrontational, abrupt, and even impulsive and impetuous. It may be in one or more of those people may be in Aries professions, such as law enforcement, arson investigation, welding, carpentry, some leadership or management position, working in a field, that's connected with the head, such as like helmet design, or be involved in some volatile or combative sport. Those are some examples. And the thing about this is too, when you look at this, when you look at Saturn in astrology, it's also associated with restrictions and limitations. So having this placement, a person may have, some, restriction or limitation. You know, could be matters, with expressing courage, being confrontational, being able to be direct, straightforward and outspoken. It could be identity issues. The person being able, maybe there might be certain difficulty in understanding the self, or just simply, understanding, or one's place just in the world and in society in general. And it could be just about expressing aggression, being assertive, taking action. There may be some limitation or restriction in connection with that. Even expressing anger, there may be some, you know, suppressed anger, with this placement. I have, Aries on my 12th house cusp in my natal chart, so that's somewhere I have that, may have that issue as well. Um, and the thing is, and also about being limited and being forceful in matters, and having just generally that drive, motivation, and enthusiasm in doing things in general. And also, too, Saturn is associated with chronic issues, debilitations. It could be, some issues, chronic issues with the brain, the head, the skull, or the face. There may be, as an example, it could be some brain disease this person may have it at some point in time. It could be, some issue like with constant, frequent migraine headaches, as another example, constant facial pain, um, as some other examples. And anyway, another thing too, I want to get back, I'm going to be kind and rewind, go back to, Saturn being connected with the father, older people, and authority figures, that there may be, situation with one or more of these people may be contentious, even combative, and there may be a number of acrimonious disputes with these people, and that's what I wanted to add to that. Now, anyway, Saturn is also associated with our responsibilities. So, people that have Saturn and Aries in their natal chart, there may be a lot of responsibilities just to being that leader. It could be in a family situation, or even at work, even if the person, say, is in a subordinate role. About the person may, there may be some responsibility in taking the initiative, and, showing some kind of leadership prowess and ability by example. And it could also be responsibilities may be given to this person in a very, abrupt, spontaneous and quick manner as well. There may be certain impatience in connection with them. The person may become angry or acerbic over having certain responsibilities, whether it's due to too much or a feeling of not being able to handle these things. And there may be more responsibilities to confront others, more so than the average person. Again, taking that initiative, it may be something associated with using cutting instruments, whether it's cutting something for like paper, colored paper, say for an art project, as as some example, just throwing that out arbitrarily. And Saturn in astrology is also associated with laborious and hard work. So having Saturn and Aries in your natal chart, the person may be involved in a lot of hard work in the industry, associated with things that are mechanical. Uh, could be doing something also with carpentry or welding. The work may be given, in a very quick manner. It might be, certain impatience associated with it. It may be doing some work connected with law enforcement or the military. Some other things, it can be, with that, laborious efforts may be made, where the person may be in some, leadership capacity in doing so. Um, and it might also be, such as like if the person's a landlord or working in some management or authority position at their place of business. Now, Saturn also has a connection, it's associated with the career. And the thing is, having Saturn and Aries in your natal chart, the career may be connected. It could be with firefighting, the military, maybe it's something with speech pathology, carpentry, welding, arson investigation. It could be some kind of profession that's associated with the head. It could be designing, baseball caps, or maybe some kind of helmet design for football. As some examples, it could be working in law enforcement, working as a surgeon, as some other examples, or some field that requires the use of cutting instruments, as some examples. Now, it's also important to look at the house that it's in, of course, Saturn, because that could be an indicator of the career. I have Saturn in Taurus in my 12th house in my natal chart. I guess this could be a lot of persistent efforts in the metaphysical, which includes astrology, so that's maybe how that manifested with me. Now, Saturn is also connected with our fears and inhibitions. So having Saturn and Aries in your natal chart, there may be some fear or inhibition associated with leadership, whether it's actually having a leadership position at your place of business or just taking the initiative and showing leadership prowess and ability in other ways. There may be, some difficulty or fear associated with being pioneering or innovative. The person that has this placement may often feel that they're going to be, maybe ridiculed or mocked or criticized for expressing, new and unique ideas that he or she may have. There may be some fear in being outspoken, direct, and straightforward, speaking one's mind. Maybe it could be the result of being afraid of having some full-blown confrontation with somebody, and just maybe just asserting oneself as well in general, taking quick action in matters. There may be certain hesitation, fear, or delay in connection with that. And also, it may be hard for this person just to simply express like enthusiasm and exuberance for, just whatever it is they may be doing. And maybe there's some fear in becoming too enthusiastic about something because it may result in being overly positive about something that may not really transpire. So, um, another thing too is that Saturn is also associated with concentration. So there may be much concentration on things of a mechanical nature, or it could be, doing something, surgery or law enforcement, something that requires carpentry ability as a carpenter or welding. It could be self-defense, doing something associated with combat sports or martial arts, being able to fight and defend oneself. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.